Talofa everyone, and welcome to Behind the Lava Lava, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the vibrant people of the Pacific Islands. I'm your host, Michael Tan, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Johnny. This episode is brought to you by Matai Watches, a luxury timepiece brand that embodies the essence of the Pacific Islands. All right, now we are at the Mill Entrepreneurship Center. Thank you to the Mill for allowing us to record in their podcast studio. So today we will be covering
a few topics. Best states for Pacific Islanders to live in. As Samoans, why we should plan for life insurance. And then why every Samoan over the age of 40 should get life insurance. And then also why Samoan males, or why not Samoan males should plan for Matai-hood.
So, Johnny, what state do you think we Pacific Islanders should live in? For my experience, California, Utah, Washington, those, well, especially
Hawaii.
Kauli. Too many people in Hawaii. Don't go to Hawaii. You guys might sink that island.
Well, I mean, what did Ian Tongi say? Priced out of paradise.
Priced out of paradise.
Yeah.
So forget about Hawaii.
So don't go Hawaii.
You can move here to this 50 states minus one. That's 49 states.
Surprisingly, quite a few of our people go to Alaska.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised I know they have a big community in Alaska, and that's where people move because they get that money from the oil.
I think it has to do with everything: the fishing, the cannery, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
an Alaska thing.
I guess you get a paycheck once a year. I'm not sure the amount, but you do get a paycheck if you get to Alaska, and that's per person. So if you have maybe 10 kids, every kid gets a paycheck. So I think that's probably an alluring factor for Alaska because, it's too cold. I don't know why Pacific Islanders go to Alaska if it's too cold. I can't deal with the cold.
Well, like 4 or 5 years ago, I remember, no, it was more than that, maybe about 10 years ago. I used to complain about, I had a layover in Anchorage, and for a cup of coffee, it was like $9. And it was like $18 or $19 for a pack of cigarettes or something like that. And for reference, back then, in the States, a pack of cigarettes used to go for like $5-6. And then a cup of coffee was $2 to $3. And then now people are spending $14-15 at these like Starbucks and whatever on their macchiatos and all that other stuff. I don't know. I don't understand, but it's not as crazy anymore. But still, Alaska prices was always really high. And so, I mean, I don't know. People just like to go up there, I guess.
And speaking on prices, my dad just arrived to Utah. We managed to get him here first time in the actual United States. I know he made a transit to Hawaii, but long time ago. But me and my siblings, we managed to get him here to Utah, and he was when I took him to Walmart and all these stores, he was comparing prices in American Samoa and here, and he was surprised at how cheap the United States prices on clothes, food, especially food. It's cheaper here in the United States, and I think it's because there's more abundant food here in the U.S. versus American Samoa, where they have to import a lot.
We import a lot.
Even gallons of milk,
onions, strawberries.
So he was surprised, and he
grapes.
was like, I took him to an Asian supermarket down in Salt Lake City, the Chinatown, and he was like, before I leave to go back to American Samoa, bring me here. He's gonna probably fill up a suitcase, fill up spices and all these things he wants to take back home because it's cheaper. and it's it sucks. How when you think about it, people in American Samoa, their cost of living and they make less than us here in the U.S. Yet they're paying a little bit more. But at the same time, we make more here just to try to support the lifestyle that we're living here.
At the same time, American Samoa, they don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
They don't. A lot of them, they don't pay property taxes. They don't pay stuff like that.
Yeah, it's different.
So it's give and take,
different.
give or take.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the states that the Pacific Islanders gravitate to is all the ones that have military bases.
Shout out to Tama.
Yeah.
Tama Luma. Good morning.
Ah.
Is he from Utah?
What usual?
Yeah.
No, he's from Colorado.
Ah.
Oh, out there in Colorado. They're different out there in Colorado. There's another state. I think they got a decent Polynesian community out there.
They do. I lived in Colorado in like 2014.
Was it near like Colorado Springs where the bases are? Fort Carson and all that?
I was there. It's like an okay place. A lot of mountains.
Yeah.
Similar to here to Salt Lake City, but their altitude is much higher.
I have an uncle who's he's a Feife'au, and he has a little ministry down in Augusta, Georgia. And it's basically where all the military bases are at. There's a nice little collection of Samoans in Texas,
North Carolina, Florida.
Yeah, I think those are all good states.
Yeah, and if I were to pick, if it wasn't for the price of living, I would pick California.
Yeah, Southern California. I like the places that mimic the climate, the climate that we lived in Samoa. Because I don't know if you've ever Valupopo up here in Utah.
Oh, not here.
It separates. The curd doesn't sit right. The bit is not right, and it's just because of elevation, the humidity levels, and all the other stuff. Rotation of the plant. The system of it.
Even baking, you have to set it at different temperature.
Yeah.
So that I didn't know until I read it somewhere a while ago.
Especially when making bread and stuff like that, the buns, the yeast reacts differently at different elevations, temperatures, and all that stuff. So, good place to live. Come to Utah.
Come to Utah and you'll get all these allergies.
All of these. You get the cold, 4 seasons.
Yeah, in one day. You get hail, summer, fall, winter.
Yeah. We got a lot of polys out here too, though.
Yeah. Plenty.
Yeah.
A lot of them migrate towards Salt Lake City. I don't know why, but I'm finding that a lot of polys are coming up north and towards Utah County, some towards Provo.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of polys or Pacific Islanders are migrating. It's away from the city.
Well, I mean, you're leaving a city to go to college towns.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that. I think as I get older, I prefer the less rural areas where it's less hustle and bustle and more us just hanging out, going through the emotions, raising a family, all that good stuff. So on to our next topic.
Yeah, as Samoans, why we should plan for life insurance. And before we get into that topic, I want to shout out our sponsor, Ray Keller with Independent Island Life Insurance. Ask yourself, if you were to die tonight, would my family struggle to make just next month's bill? Not to mention every month after that. If you answered yes to that question, then life insurance is your best way to help your family be prepared. None of us know when we're going to go back home. And we've all known more than one person that was very young and healthy, yet still passed away unexpectedly. Now, the younger you are, the chances are smaller that you pass away before your parents. But are you willing to take that chance with your family's life? Basically, you need an independent broker or agent like Ray Keller. He started Independent Island Life Insurance specifically to help everyone get the most affordable life insurance possible. So if you need life insurance, which will help you, because we all die at some point in life, we will die, especially growing up over 40s, and we start to get sick or die of old age or accidents, reach out to Ray Keller at 435-200-4869 or find him on Facebook or Instagram at Independent Island Life Insurance. Remember, with life insurance, you're either early or late. You're never on time.
Now, I know recently, like, I've made it a point to ensure that I have life insurance, and then my wife has life insurance, and then especially my kids as well. Even they have a small little policy, and it's all attached through my work. And I make sure to pay the extra money on it because, I mean, as Samoans, father love is an inevitable thing, especially if you participate in the culture, if you do anything with the culture. A father love is always going to be a thing. And like, it's always, there's always arguments because of money. Shoki this, when you're asking for doing your sanga kupis, the families come up and they're like, hey, we have a life to live as well. And why, with a life insurance policy, you can get a small one that pays out maybe 25, 30,000, upon accidental death or whatever. And you don't pay that much into it. And then once it's done, you got 25 grand right there. It can cover your entire funeral.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be nothing extravagant, but it'll pay for a box, a plot, and flowers.
Yeah, and you can automate your payments where you don't even see it get taken off. Like, you can pay life insurance as low as what, $12-18. Like, every paycheck, it'll be automated where you don't even know that it's getting pulled from your paycheck, and so that you don't see the money that's going into your life insurance policy. And it's very good because I know I have life insurance, and I know that after I pass away, my family will be taken care of. Hopefully, we all don't pass away early before we see our kids grow up. But that's the plan. It's financial security. The word is financial security. We want our families, our kids to be taken care of once we pass away from this life. And a lot of our people, especially the older folks, don't have one. Yeah. And that's sad.
It's sad because you get to a point where that now it's hard for them to even get any kind of policy at this point, just because their health is already failing. And a lot of insurance companies won't do it just because, come on,
Yeah. But reach out to Ray Keller. He'll help you get you on a policy, no matter your health concerns or your age or the main reasons that life insurances, they decline you for. So he'll help you out.
Yeah. So, and then if you're getting close to that age too, I mean, I'd say not even 40, because I know we're asking Samoans that are 40 or over should start looking at life insurance. I mean, I think you should start at like 35. 35 is an age where you start to feel the effects of age. Your body starts to, I wouldn't say fall apart, but things are starting to creak a little bit. And I mean, now, I've seen a lot of people that are around my age, 35, 40 years old, dying of heart attacks, like cardiac arrest, diabetes. Aside from those, absolutely, there's nothing you could do, like, God forbid, cancer, stuff like that. But consumption, overly consumption or overactive lifestyle, or some mistakes that you made in your youth, you need to start looking at life insurance around 40 or 35 even. Because when something happens to you, the people who are left to pick up the pieces is the one that's going to feel the burden the most. And a life insurance policy can alleviate a lot of that. And then also maybe, like a will, so that they're not fighting over a $20,000 policy. Maybe specify exactly where it should go to, find somebody trustworthy or use a trust. But, preparedness is starting to be a big thing. I mean, I know for me, I'm looking at it a lot in a sense that My policy is a lot bigger, so that when I leave, if I leave suddenly, my wife and kids are not stranded out in the dirt trying to figure out how to make ends meet. You know, it's enough to cover all of my expenses and finances and keep them afloat for a number of years until they can get back on their own. But that's just my own specific situation. There's plenty of little nickel and dime situations around there with different people that having a policy could alleviate a lot of the stress or burdens that they're going to fight for or deal with for the next 3 to 4 to 5 years before they're finally back in the green.
You know, another way to get life insurance if you're older and retired, have your kids put you on a policy. They can do that for you. You can put your family members on a policy, especially if they're not employed and need to cover the costs of a policy. One of our topics that was brought up is why Samoan males should plan for Matai-hood. What do you think, Johnny? Well, why do we need to be planning for Matai-hood?
Okay. I have 2 points of views on this. One is for the male that cares about family. You know, when it comes to your family, I know that a lot of people are leaving the islands, coming either stateside or abroad, looking for a better quality of life. I'd like to say opportunity, but essentially we're chasing a quality of life. We're chasing a stable income, something to support whatever you got going on in your life. And they do that. But what happens is when a lot of us leave, there's those who are in our family titles or that have titles or hold titles for the family are getting older and older, and there's nobody there or hardly anybody there to step up and take the mantle, so to speak. And so even if you're far away, I mean, you can still be an impact. And I know it gets a bad rep because when you get a title, you become a Makai, all you're thinking is, okay, now you're the next money. You know, you're the one that's going to be paying for everything. Oh, you're the Makai. We need money for this. You know, you're supposed to be the leader, this. And so it puts a bad name on it or a bad rap on it. But if you want to continue that lineage, you know, it's something to look into, because it's not just one of those that you got to pick up. Oh, okay, I'm the guy now. I mean, no, there's a lot more that goes into it, and you got to be prepared for it. And I believe that our culture is dying. I want to say it's dying. It's just less and less are willing to take up titles due to outward appearances, or I don't know enough, or I didn't do enough. I shouldn't be this because, you know, I never ran or led a aumanga before, something like that. I think we all should be planning for. We should all be planning for it, but I mean, at the same time, I don't know who should. Oh, I kind of just lost my train of thought on that one, but
you know, there is a misconception out there that people don't know the levels of matais. You know, they when they think of matai, they only think there's only one kind of type of matai. They don't understand that each family have their own, and then there's a next level that goes out to the village, to the whole community, to like sections. What's the what levels are there? Do you know the levels for the Matai system?
So I know there's Makai Ali'i.
Because I know you start off within the family, you have your own Matai that doesn't affect the outside.
Well, you're Makai for your own family.
Yeah. Your own Matai for your family, you mean nothing to other people. And then
there's one up above that. There's the Makai for your, essentially it's your clan, your last name. And then there's the order. And then there's a Makai for the entire village. And then you have your paramount chiefs that are higher than that. It's kind of like a order of succession, a regular structure. But some of these lineages are long and stretched. Like the paramount chief titles are pretty much been one specific group of family or clan leaders in that area. And then it just trickles down. But the main point is that there's Oh, and then also the beauty of the Samoan Matai-hood is that you get access to both mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Mom and dad's ngafa. You can go or both ways. So there's no strict you have to be a certain percentage of bloodline. No, if mom was from this family and dad is from this family, you have access to these titles and access to these titles depending on how high up your mom and dad were, or their mom and dad were, or their mom and dad were. But I think we all need to plan for it because, I mean, for a lot of us that was born there, left to go find themselves for
better future.
They went to find themselves, and then now they plan on coming back, going back home. It's good to plan now because when you're going back home, you're going to be into the, you get used to one set of structure and you come back home and then all of a sudden you're not used to that quality of life that they did in the States. And the only way to change that is if you're part of the community, part of the Matai community, So, I mean, it's good to plan for it. It's good to be, and it also, it's good to represent your family.
Yeah.
Because
even if you don't live in American Samoa or Western Samoa, it's still good to have that Matai name just to keep. It's like continuity to keep your family line going, so that it doesn't die off and things get forgotten. And it sucks if things get forgotten because now your kids and the generation ahead of them now they're struggling to find out your ngafa, the names of people and our ancestors. That's one thing here in Utah. They're very.
I was going to say that
they're
big on their genealogy.
Yeah,
especially with the LDS Church, its genealogy is huge.
Yeah,
they're always trying to find different ways, and I believe that the LDS Church's genealogy site is so comprehensive that you can map your ancestry or somebody in your family has already started adding to it, to where my dad has found information about his family, his grandparents and grandparents, and it's crazy. So, I mean, it's one way to maintain that line or that lineage if that matters to you. I know recently I was in American Samoa for my dad's funeral, and my uncles, it was kind of sad because my uncle stood up in front of everybody and he was saying you boys, you guys need to start stepping up. We need some Matais in our family because there's nobody left. We're all getting old. Sooner or later, a lot of your uncles and yada yada yada, they've had Makais at the age of in their 20s, and they were doing stuff for the family and for the village in their 20s. You guys need to step up because all these titles are going to go somewhere else because there's nobody here that is willing to take it. And it's not that we're not. I mean, we're what do you call it? We're eligible just by blood, but it's the willingness to pick up the mantle and carry it. And I know for others, it's not theirs. Maybe it's not their thing. They don't want to. They'd rather just do their own thing, and that's fine too. But I believe we should all at least have an idea of it, and maybe a little bit to pursue it. And if you really get good at it, then you get that little bit that everybody talks about, everybody wants.
That's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
But shout out to Naki from Pacifica by Design and her with Carl on the Fight Cup broadcast. Shout out to them. Go check them out. The Fight Cup podcast on Pacifica by Design. And they're amazing. I love their content. They're very great at hosting things in general. I believe the boys had the MMA their MMA sessions with Carl. I think they have one upcoming and probably Friday. I'm not sure the date, but shout out to the Fight Cup podcast. Go check them out.
Also, shout out to myself. Just throwing that out there. I cut my grass yesterday. It was a sense of accomplishment. It's the little things at this point. No. It's just, I don't know. We're living a life. Shout out to the mill. The studio is really nice.
The studio is nice. They're still upgrading their equipment because the last time we came here, they didn't have this new Rodecaster mixer right here, but I think it's a new one. But they're still upgrading and making their podcast studio better for their clients and those in the community to use. And if you need a business space, check out the mill. They offer spaces for those for businesses to come and rent out for as low as $50. And the more you pay, the higher, the more spaces you gain from them. So it's a pretty neat place, and we want to thank the mill for allowing us to come record here and use their space.
Yeah, $50 a month gives you access to conference rooms with projectors. There's common areas. What do you call it? Yeah, access to the studios. They have a studio here.
They even have a coffee station.
Yes,
coffee and tea station.
Yep, and it's a place for you to do networking and essentially, if you don't have an office at your business, this is a good place to run as an office.
Yeah.
And the more money you put into it, I think they have up to $125, $150 a month. Mm-hmm. You get your own desk space with like locking filing cabinet and a locker, and then you can even buy an office depending on how high you want to go.
Yeah, but look at the time. What time is it? Sometimes I like to look at my Matai watch, and just to tell the time, and just look at this awesome, amazing watch.
Yeah, I remember when I was eating something, I was trying to make sure that if there was cake in my teeth, I didn't have anything reflective, so I just looked at my watch and I could see
very reflective.
Shining,
you can see yourself in there.
Yeah.
And if you didn't brush your teeth,
pretty good looking gentleman, if I don't say so myself.
It'll make your teeth look golden if you didn't brush it this morning.
Yellow to match the gold. Get yourself a Matai watch. You seen Iam Tongi rocking that thing? Shone Toki's rocking that thing. We got who did he get? Nelly. Nelly's got a Matai watch.
A lot of musicians and
Ja Rule.
The Addies.
Oh, they got the Black Series. I saw that. They're looking clean.
No, they got And we were driving down here. I was very exaggeratingly flaunting my watch on the steering wheel, so you kind of put it on a steering wheel.
Yeah.
When you come to a stop, make sure that
he drives like a grandma
watch,
following all the lines.
kind of make someone blind with the sun shining onto your watch.
That's how you fight road rage. You blind them with a Matai watch.
Yeah, you just show them your Matai watch, and they'll be like, "Oh, my eyes."
A little bit of class and a lot of sass,
and they'll walk away. See, even Matai watches can disarm violence. You know what's funny? I was asked at a gas station. This guy at a 7-Eleven gas station. He was Middle Eastern. He asked me, "Am I afraid of walking around with basically my watch?" And I told him no. If I get mugged, it's not like anyone's going to want to mug someone as big as me. But if I get mugged, I'll gladly give away my Matai watch. Hey, bro, take it. It's not worth my life. Plus, we're trying to promote Matai watches here.
Yeah. Make sure you tell all your friends it's a Matai watch.
Yeah. And when he takes my watch, he'll be like, "Oh, I stole this from a big guy."
Now he has a piece of our heritage and our lineage.
He has a piece of our heritage. He's going to look at, what does Matai mean? He's going to look it up and he'll see like Matai watches. Oh, now I want to go buy some more watches for my homies.
Yep. Also, tomorrow here, if you're in the Utah Salt Lake area, we're going to be setting up at what's the name of the festival?
So it's a Poly Fest. It's not really a festival, but like a pickleball tournament down at the Mountain Expo Center here in Sandy. We'll be here selling Matai watches.
Yes.
Setting up a booth tomorrow. We don't know our time frame. but we'll be there selling watches. So if you want to come check us out,
if you want to buy a Matai watch, right there, right then, we'll be there. So
you can come buy a Matai watch and play pickleball.
Yes, we accept only one form of payment, and that's diamonds and gold.
So you buy yourself a Matai watch. I think it's very good for balance.
Yes. Oh, you remember those balance wrists?
Yeah.
That's exactly what this thing is.
Yeah. If you're trying to play pickleball.
And you need that. It's a little heavy on the right side because you got the heavy paddle on this side.
Yeah. So it'll balance you out, make you play better at pickleball.
And it's one way to blind your enemy, who you're playing against. You can reflect the light in his eyes.
Your opponents will be so shocked and amazed by your Matai watch. They'll be like, "Oh, I want one of those." He'll be distracted that you'll end up racking up the points in pickleball and you'll win. See, the Matai watches are very useful.
Yep. You can take it off and cut your vegetables with it when you're making dinner.
Yeah, you can
with the sharp edges.
Mow your lawn.
All right, man, that's enough.
But
what's that about beating a dead horse?
Yeah.
Oh man, buy Matai watches. It makes you
Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. We really appreciate your support.
Yes.
We hope you enjoy this conversation on Behind the Lava Lava. Be sure you follow us on Behind the Lava Lava and leave us a review. We like to get your inputs on how we're doing. This is our actual first in-person podcast session. So forgive us for the glitching on the video if you see it. I don't think it upgrade the camera.
What if I follow Mill?
Soon they'll upgrade. I'll put in a request. Upgrade la ko camera lang ay. Fai ma get ifo yang But yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this interview informative and insightful. Until next time, Tofa Soifua.